It's JSauce back again with another video, and today we have another FBL battle. This week it's versus Smaster, and we are coming off a loss and a pretty bad one at that. We just got out prepped, outplayed. It wasn't that pretty, and quite frankly, I was not proud of that. So I'm hoping to get back this week. I'm hoping that maybe I can get a win. Be up to 3-1 would be pretty nice actually. I feel like I got some pretty good prep this week, so let's see if it pays off. And I will see you guys in the team builder. My first thought when looking at the matchup is that Sun hits literally the ultimate goob nut this week. Like, his warp type is Frogadier, and I have a gouging fire and a walking wake. Like, this is not looking good immediately. So where's bringing Heat Rock Ninetales, the standard set for Sun, I feel like. Baton Pass, Overheat, Shadow Ball, Healing Wish. I don't know, Overheat is there for anything that's not named Dragapult. And even then, I have a Shadow Ball for Pult. We're throwing max speed this week to speed Taisha and outspeed Iron Crown, outspeed Urshifu. If Frogadier does come by some fucking reason, we outspeed that. And then we slap the rest in HP. Healing Wish is pretty much there just because it's super nice if one of my Sun guys gets chipped down low. I come in with Ninetales setup, 7 turns of Sun, Healing Wish out, and then all of a sudden, we're back up at full. We have a shit ton of Sun turns, and the whole cycle repeats itself. And Baton Pass there just to get consistent momentum because I don't want to click Healing Wish like early in the game. But yeah, I don't expect Ninetales to do much, but I expect it to be an amazing supporting piece this week. As it's been kind of all season. It's been a little hit or miss for me, but it's been a sunsetter, so can't really expect much more from it. It's doing more than I think Torkoal ever would for me. But yeah, I talked about Sun hitting the ultimate goob nut. There's no better example of this than Choice Scarf, Boost Energy Attack, Gouging Fire. Now, the one thing that does completely poop on this set is Adamant, Choice Band, Dragapult, because that kind of tears my team apart. Although I am expecting especially offensive, even if it is Scarf. Just feels a little better for consistently breaking down Screamtail. But if it's not Scarf Dragapult, then we're so good. Now, Choice Scarf Iron Moth could be a problem, but really only if it's Terra Ground. Otherwise, it can't actually hit me for any decent damage, and this set completely obliterates Clefable. Even if it's max, it's doing 57 min in Sun with any of my fire moves. Rhyperier's taking 38 without being defense invested. This thing is crazy this week, and I could get it in relatively freely is the plan. And this is definitely my win con this week. This is what I've been fiending up all week. I've been looking at this matchup and I'm saying it's Gouging Fire time. No other mon in mind, just Gouging Fire. And we're running 3 fire moves because we can, and then Dragon Claw is just there. I don't expect to click Dragon Claw because Clef is around. I'll be expecting to click a fire move, but I wanted to have something in case it was in case Clef was gone, it was Terra Water Rhyperior. If Rhyperior is Fairy, then he kind of just auto loses to this Pokemon. Rhyperior is his only real switch in, so that's fun. We're just running max attack and enough speed to outspeed Adamant Dragapult. If it's just running 252, I could have done a little bit more to creep if Pult wasn't, but I didn't feel like risking that. That's on me. If you thought that was enough Sun Goobage this week, you'd be wrong, because we have Life Orb, Terra Fire, Walking Wake. Pre-standard stuff, it's Sped Crep for Shaman, I believe. And then the rest was put into Special Attack and HP. I made sure to get a speed boost off of Photosynthesis, because even though I don't outspeed Scarf Iron Moth or Booster Energy Iron Moth, right? Or Scarf Dragapult. I want to outspeed both of those if they weren't running Speed Booster, as well as Iron Crown and Urshifu, and even Shaman if they were running Scarf and stuff. Like, this is a very good speed control Pokemon, more so than the Gouging Fire. We're running Flip Turn, Hydro Steam, Flamethrower, Draco, Meteor. Flip Turn is just there for momentum in case I really need it, but I plan to be clicking Hydro Steam and Draco literally the entire time. Flamethrower is there for Shaman. It's there for like some weird Cryogonal. It's there for the Iron Crown, which I could see being AV this week, but I don't love Iron Crown into Sun. Admittedly, I think this thing's going to be a threat. His way to beat fire types is that Rhyperior, is what I'm looking at, and like Terra Ground Iron Moth. So I don't love this matchup with him. This was a very, very bad matchup for him, I'm not gonna lie. But this is what I need coming off a loss. I think this Pokemon just goobs. But in case that Gouge and Wake don't goob enough, we have Terra Bug, Silver Powder, Slitherwing with First Impression, U-Turn, Close Combat, Leech Life. Enough speed to just like speed creep random Braviary, I guess, who I also think doesn't come. But we can run pretty much max HP, max attack, obviously getting the attack booster in Sun. Yeah, with Terra Bug, Silver Powder, First Impression, U-Turn are extremely free, even into resists. Hell, even Clefable is taking like 35% from U-Turn or something stupid like that. I will say the one thing is that if Clefable is healthy, I can't 1v1, but that's what U-Turn's for. Leech Life is there for consistent recovery, of course. Close Combat is just to hit hard, in case I need to click it on, I don't know, Rhyperior or maybe an Iron Moth that resists both my stabs. But honestly, I don't even know if this thing will touch the field. I'm going to save it for a late game cleaner, I think. Because I think that's where it's best utilized when we have Gouging Fire and Walking Wake breaking the entire team. So I really hope Clef isn't a problem by then, but if it is, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I had Heavy Slam on here, but it didn't do enough, and I didn't want to run like Terra Poison, Terra Blast. So I just decided to just commit to the bit and just pray Clefable gets taken down early. I think that's fine. Next up, we're bringing Agent Mala off the bench. Pretty spadef. This is my best way to deal with Iron Moth and Dragapult, and Iron Crown as well. It's Rapid Spin, Knockoff, U-Turn, Earthquake. It's just got some good coverage for the team in general. Rapid Spin to keep rocks off the field because this team kind of instant loses to rocks, especially if one of my Pokemon are Terran. Knockoff is great for Iron Crown. It's great for Dragapult. U-Turn, I kind of need the momentum. I don't want to let Urshifu in for free. And then Earthquake is there for Iron Moth for, I guess the Iron Crown as well. It's just pretty spammable. I feel like this is Agent Mala's week because I don't really have any better special defensive Pokemon. We're facing a top tier Ghost type Pokemon, and Kamala kind of walls it. Unless it's like Adamant Choice Band, and then yeah, that's rough. But we'll find that out. Enough defense to 2-hit KO, booster speed, Iron Crown with some HP in it. And then outside of that, we're just running some speed in case Clef for some reason runs speed to outspeed this. And then just poured the rest of the special defense because I felt like I had the rest of it covered. Now this thing is just going to be a glue piece. But I hope Malik shows its worth this week because it was the second to last Pokemon pick, the lowest point total on my team. I want to show out for this guy. He's pretty cool. Finally, we have Gliscor because I've not talked about it yet. This dude's only removal is like Defog Braviary and Rapid Spin Cryogonal. That's not too good, man. We're running Spikes, Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Dual Weak Beat. No EQ this week. Feels a little weird. I want to knock off all the boots in the world because against my good bud Keji, he said that Smaster ran like 6 boots. So I don't want to deal with that. And I don't see Cryogonal or Braviary really coming. I think it is 6 of the first 6 and Rhyperior. I don't really see the rest coming, so knockoff's gonna be super important. Spikes, Stealth Rock also let stuff like Bug, Slitherwing go off. It allows for my breakers to go off. It's just really good support. Now we're running Spadef this week just for the Iron Moth and the Iron Crown, as those two kind of spook me a little bit, especially Iron Moth. That guy is pretty shiced. I never saw success using it, but it's always scary whenever I see it. We're running enough speed to outrun a max bulk Shaman, and then the rest is just poured into HP and Spadef. And this thing is just going to be here to be annoying, get up hazards, and probably die, but it will allow for my offensive guys to just shamon. I'm very excited for this week because this just looks like a very turn my brain off battle, and I could use one of those right about now. That being said, I think we should hop into the battle. Alright, so here with week 4 of FBL. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I could have played this one live on video, but I was too locked in, man. I could not get myself in the headspace to play this on camera. I was listening to some real hater shit because I've been on a bad streak of Mons. I need to get myself in the mood for a playoff match later tonight, and you know, if I do end up losing this, I don't want. I feel like it'll be bad commentary, and I calc too much to really put somewhat funny commentary on it. I don't put a twist on my gameplay to make it entertaining. So I decided I'm just gonna do a replay this week, and from what I see that he brought Cryogonal, and there's no Urshifu, and there's no Iron Crown. So I think we absolutely take those, because Cryogonal is just going to be there for spin. That's fine. He's kind of dog ass into this team, especially with Wake Terra. That Rhyperior is Terra Water, which is a little scary, not gonna lie. It's what I expected. It means that Gouge needs Rhyperior to be chipped before it can hit the ultimate Goop Nut. But I still, like, I see 1, 2, 3 fire resists and a max Clefable on the other side, and somehow this Gouge still feels like it's going to be God. This Pokemon's unfair, man. Let's just get into the battle. I lead Kamala. Feels good into everything. If he leads Pult, I just knock. Leads Iron Moth, I just EQ. Like, I don't need to overthink anything. Leads Iron Moth, my play is to always EQ, even if it's an overpredict or it's Sash. Clicks U-turn, you know, pretty expected. Goes into Clefable, that reveals that's max right away. I want to knock in case it's leftovers. Actually reveals Rocky Helmet, which is probably better for me. I click knock again. I thought he was going to scout for spin and go into Dragapult. I just spin there. Now, if that was the Dragapult turn, I would have been surprised. But now rocks are off the field. I get a free turn into my Gliscor. On a Moonblast, well, that's a pretty good Moonblast, but I just get to get free spikes, I'm not going to lie. Sure, you get Stealth Rock, whatever, right? We're just playing the hazard game. I actually go Kamala, because I wanted to spin these away still. As Cryogonal does come in, switches out into Clefable, so I just get a free Rapid Spin again. You know, we're slowly whittling down this Clefable, but it looks like it's going nowhere. I go Ninetales because he can't really deal with it. I want to put immediate pressure on him. Moonblast is here. This is a risky-ass play. I go Walking Wake because Moonblast should never be clicked here. But if it's like Moonlight or something, it's a little shiced. But Iron Moth comes in, and yeah, I kind of hit the Goop Nut. Now, this is a tricky situation for me because I could not Terrifier and click Flamethrower, kill this Cryogonal, or I could Terrifier and click Hydro Steam, expecting a switch. And the Terrifier would allow for middle ground, of course, where if he does stand, I don't get killed by Freeze Dry. That would also burn one more turn of Sun, but I decided that I'm going to do it anyways because in my head, I think I was overthinking this. In my head, I think he's trying to stall out Sun turns. I would go Rhyperior here to scout Flamethrower, and then Terra Water, get a free Terra Water, but it's very, very early to do that and throw out a potential win con. Like, even if I don't have Flamethrower, right, even though Terrifier would indicate that I do, you should never sack a win con to that. Like, I already showed Hydro Steam. If I Terra Fire, then Cryo can't do anything to me, meaning that my play should always be to Hydro Steam again. And if he brings out his stupid ass Rhyperior into that, then he auto loses to Walking or to Gouging Fire. So I make the middle ground play. I Terra Fire, click Hydro Steam, and it ends up being the well. You could debate whether it's the right or wrong play because Cryo's still alive, but did click Freeze Dry, meaning that I think I won that. Now I click Hydro Steam there. Realistically, it probably should be a flamethrower, but I didn't want to reveal it in case Shaman was coming later. Even though it's a pretty obvious bring, in my opinion. I didn't want to reveal it. Dragapult comes on, and I decide that what, I don't care if he's Scarf. Let me get the intel. I want to know if he's Scarf right now because it'll help me so much in the longer game. And so I'm willing to sacrifice my walking weight to a Draco here. Even though I've got a Kamala. Goes into Shaman on my Draco, revealing that I don't know if he's Scarf, but it's not looking good for him. Shaman dies to a flamethrower. I didn't want to miss a Draco there. I didn't want to risk Clef coming in for free. But my Walking Wake is getting chipped. Now this is where the Rhyperior comes in. I agree that's the right turn. So I just sack Agent Kamala because he has done his job, and this allows me to get Sun back in. Ninetales does not come in. Gliscor comes in to click knockoff. Hold on. I see what it is. My apologies. So I sack Kamala, and I'm running the calcs. I need to see how much Walking Wake does with Draco. I'm doing the calcs, and I need chip on it first. So I go Gliscor, lives an Ice Punch, which is impressive. But secondary knock won't put it in range, so I have to risk the Wing Beat miss. Thank God it doesn't. So yeah, Rhyperior is now in range for Walking Wake. I set up Sun just to Healing Wish so I can get 7 full turns, and this is where it's starting to look like it's trouble for him. A layer spikes up, Walking Wake is back to 100, kills Rhyperior, and now it feels very, very hard for him. Assuming I play the correct game. I Hydro Steam here because, in my head it kills, but I guess not running max special attack actually was a difference maker because, Iron Moth lived somehow. Click Sludge Wave into my Walking Wake. Gets a pretty good roll, but also poisons me, meaning that, my Walking Wake's dead, and that's pretty bad, man. I could have used that for Clefable. So now I'm just forced to go into my damn Gouging Fire and, play a switch game, it seems. But he just goes hard Dragapult. Now, hear me out, right? I think this was kind of a throw, because even if it's not Scarf, right? Keeping in Iron Moth allows him to scout for Scarf. It also allows him to get Dragapult in for free later, which is pretty nice considering that Slitherwing doesn't love to switch into Spexpult, especially banned. And even if it's not Scarf, I have to play a little 50-50 with Clefable afterwards. But Dragapult comes in and dies. Resisted my dick and balls. That is crazy that Dragapult just died to Gouging Fire with a fire move. And Clefable comes in, it can't live, its days are numbered, and unfortunately Gliscor is there to rob the last kill. Wish that was Heavy Duty Boots, but I'm not complaining. I do wish Gouge got another kill, so I am complaining a little bit. But yeah, that was the ultimate Sun Goob Nut, man. It's just one of those rare matches where you just see the win con upon the first glance, and you can actually follow through with it. That usually doesn't happen with me, but turns out this Gouge guy's pretty good. Turns out Sun's pretty good in general. Ninetales stays being my go. Walking Wake, phenomenal. And Slither stayed in the back the entire game, but I'm sure put on pressure. Funny thing about the Slitherwing set is I was originally Bright Powder because I misclicked, and I probably would have gotten a forfeit loss if I brought it to the game. And shout out to the draft here on Pokemon Showdown because it told me that Bright Powder was illegal. And so that's huge, right? That is absolutely massive. because maybe this glorious game wouldn't have counted in an alternate universe. But yeah, we're looking 3-1. It's pretty good. Right about where I want to be. It's a little higher than where I expected to be, honestly. All of these games have been good, but I'm not gonna lie, I expected to lose one or two more 4 weeks into the season. Now, next week we play Ordinary, Phenomenal Battler, and a member of the prestigious ECA. So it's gonna be ECA on ECA violence, and that's never fun. But someone's got to come out victorious, and I'm not gonna lie, the matchup's a little scary. But we're 3-1. I think this Virgin Weather team can truly just overpower our opponents as it has been all season. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone FBL because my week has been shit. So obviously week 3's been posted late. This is going to get posted late. And I want to thank everyone for being patient and for tuning into these videos as, they're a little less maintenance, a little less effort than what I typically have been doing. But I'm still happy with how they're turning out. And I feel like the FBL community is as well. Y'all are some goats. I'm glad Keji recruited me. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. And with that being said, JSauce out.